Hi everyone. Lara has told me that she is struggling to balance her mental health and physical health, and she feels as though she needs food to self-soothe. Lara, I'm really sorry to hear that things are tough at the moment. It is really a vicious cycle, and when things become imbalanced, stressful, or chaotic, foodies turn to the thing that gives them that quick hit and takes all those negative feelings away. And that's food. And foodies are just like druggies and alcoholics. We're all one in the same. So if you keep turning to the quick fix or the need to change the emotions or the emotional space, to be honest, you'll not find a way out. So here's some steps, and it might sound like a lot, but if you sort of just sit back and observe it and take your time to absorb this, then you'll see that there's not so much information and that it is achievable. But you may not be able to implement all of it at once. Pick what is achievable first and then go to the next step and the next step until you've got a nice little plan for yourself. So preparation and planning is one of the first keys. So I want you to create a list of meals and snacks for yourself. And some lists may have more on them than others. So for instance, breakfast may only have a couple of options, but lunches, dinners, and snacks, put at least 5 different things on there. And these are things that are healthy and balanced and nutritious, not takeaway options. So that's really important for me to say to you. This way it makes planning, buying, and making food so much easier, and it's just one less thing off your mind, because when you're imbalanced, your brain's not thinking clearly, and so what you want to do is put down on paper as much as possible so you don't have to use more brain power. So this will also help you with maintaining regular nutrition throughout the day. Because what tends to happen when we're imbalanced or we hit a stressful or chaotic period is that we tend to go long periods without eating, or we're irregular and inconsistent. So we want to decrease those long periods without eating, as this leads to starvation and ultimately cravings and finally binging. So it actually forces you towards those foods that you're using to comfort yourself. Then next, I want you to write a list of the foods that you're craving and eating to soothe. Once you've got that list, I want you to start thinking about what healthier options, still very similar, but have more nutrition and quality in them. So here's some examples. So normally if you'd go for fried chicken and chips, the way to improve this would be to actually buy a roast chicken, oven fries that don't have any added flavor, and then what you'd do is you'd add salad and or mixed frozen veggies to it. So that way you're still having your chips and your chicken, just in a different way, reducing the excitation or binge value, and you're adding nutrition or quality to it by adding in the vegetables. Also, if you binge on milk chocolate, then the alternative would be to look at, say, a flavored dark chocolate. So let's say orange at this point. And then you're going to actually add dry roasted almonds with that, and you're going to eat that together. And what you're doing by doing that is you're reducing the excitation value, what I call the excitation or trigger value, which reduces the binging, and you're increasing protein, which overall what's going to happen is you're going to just feed some of that craving without hopefully leading too much towards a binge behavior, and eventually you won't need it any longer. Now, the next point to add in to this is manage your stress. And a lot of people say to me that they don't feel stressed, but it may be that during these times you're actually going into survival mode and suppressing it, and your stress doesn't come out until you come out of that survival mode, which might be towards the end of the day when you can relax, or until it builds up to a point when all of a sudden you're taken over and you need a fix. So it's better to be proactive than reactive. So here's just a few things to add in. And then you can create your own list, but breathing is always the best tool. So putting those throughout your day. So 5 deep breaths, 5 times a day minimum. Take short breaks throughout your day. Getting up from your desk more. Do a body scan. Just close your eyes, and you can do that wherever you are, except for driving, of course, when you need your eyes open, and scan and see what you're really feeling. Connect with yourself. Get out of the office, change the environment, and go for a short walk. Listen to music. So these are just some of the techniques. So then I want you to create your own list of stress management activities that you can put in your day. And I want you then to read them every morning, every lunchtime, and before you leave work. Now, what this does by reading it is connect you with what you need to do for yourself to manage your stress better. And that way you're connecting with self-care. And it won't just sort of go, oh, it's not important, and or all those other things that are coming at you throughout the day won't overshadow all of these things that you do need to do for yourself for self-care. So that's that reconnection moment. So that's really important. Then you can put on alarms on your phone or computer to remind you to actually action the steps. Now, other key strategies to implement into your day, and some of these I see as really important and just added in, and others you've got to just work out where to put them and when to put them into your day. Meditation. Now, meditation can be 5 minutes up to 20 or 30 minutes. It depends on what fits your routine and the day. Movement is so important when you're feeling like this, and it is a breaker for eating. So create a list of different activities, and this way, again, just like the food, you're prepped and you can pick from the list. So it could be as simple as just going for a 5 or 10 minute walk. Then it could be something that you love to do. So it could be a class, or just engaging in an activity you just really enjoy and just lifts you up and excites you and gives you joy and happiness. But the flip side of that is that it relaxes you. And then we have HIIT training, or high intensity interval training. And what this does is all of these reduce your stress levels, but balance your brain and body chemistry and hormones. So with things like HIIT and walking, you don't have to do it in, one chunk. So it doesn't have to be 45 minutes to an hour. It can be, 10 minutes at a time. And these small bursts actually have been proven to help reduce stress and find balance a lot better than sort of trying to put it all together at once. So think about doing that. Then, of course, hydration. A lot of people don't hydrate adequately enough, and this can cause a lot of imbalance. It can cause feelings of stress and anxiety. So make sure you're trying to get in at least 2 litres of water a day. Then journaling. Journaling is so important because it just gets out all of the mess in your head and gets it down on paper. Now, be aware of the words that you're using with yourself. During these times, you want to be kind and nurturing with the words instead of with food. So using acknowledgement and praise with yourself for getting through a situation or a day, acknowledging that you did something well or different. That is so important because that will decrease your stress levels and actually improve the balance of your brain chemistry for the positive. And you'll find that you won't need the food as much. Then we've got the empty chair, which basically is having an external conversation with somebody in an empty space as if a person was actually there. So it's allowing you to express yourself and externalize the issues to gain some clarity, perspective, and feel empowered by expressing your emotions and thoughts. So you can do that, in the car, you can do that in your home. Doesn't matter, as long as it's a safe place. And then, of course, seek medical and professional assistance if you find that you can't do it on your own. As I said, self-care and maintaining a flexible routine is the greatest gift you can give yourself when you're struggling with finding balance in your life, when times are tough. when it feels that things are chaotic and stressful. Now, I'm not saying rigid routines, flexible routines, because what this will do is it will enable you to actually bounce back faster once the stressors have subsided. But as we all know, self-care and routines are the things that tend to fall away. They're the first things we let go of. So think about it as it's the thing that's important to you. Value that, and then food won't be the issue. You won't use food as a reaction and a band-aid solution, because really food is just part of a symptom, and what you really want to get to is the cause of the issues instead of always creating this addictive reactive cycle. So good luck with this. As I said, it might seem overwhelming with all the information I gave you, but just take out what you want and what you need right now, and then slowly action everything over time. So for anybody out there, if you want to ask me a question, just click on the link and submit the form, or send through an email with your question. And if you like hearing my answers, then please subscribe to Mind and Body Architect. And I love to hear from you, so just pop your questions below in the comments.